lead together, embrace change, enhance everyone's journey. The 3 core principles of SmartStop. A leader in self-storage real estate across North America. Reinforce why we're proud to bring you SheEO Lead-In, the podcast featuring curated conversations with powerful women sharing their impactful wisdom. It's a self-knowledge, self-discovery, and self-preneurship audio storage vault created by and for women. SmartStop's presentation of SheEO Lead-In begins right now.
Today we're here with Gita Murthy, and you're with RORE Inc. Let's talk about your business and what you like to do and what you're doing every day, because I think it's a pretty interesting business. You don't see too many women in construction.
Yes, thank you, Rebecca. It's good to see you again. Let's see. I started the business 22 years ago. I know that because my twins are 22. And I started the company right before they popped.
Well, that was ambitious.
I wanted to get it all in order, so I'm ready to go. And it's been a great journey. It's been a turbulent ride, as any business owner would say.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to my Q3 and Q4, if you will, getting a second wind, and can't wait to keep going strong.
So downturn in the economy, a little thing like a pandemic. How did all of that affect you? I mean, those are some crazy times to be in business.
It impacted us a great deal because we build for the military. So we build for the Department of Defense, or Department of War as it's called now, so the Army, Navy, Air Force. And during that terrible pandemic, even though construction was considered an essential industry, there were lots of schedule delays and supply chain cuts, and we couldn't get materials to the project site. Employees were so scared that if they got a little cough, they would consider it COVID and they wouldn't show up to work. And so there was challenge after challenge. And I'm not kidding you, but there's a few projects that were started before the pandemic that are still ongoing. 6 years later, we still haven't completed them.
Wow.
Because of funding issues or whatever that accompanied these, Department of Defense projects. So it's been a challenge.
I bet. So most proud project that you have built, what would that be?
The most proud. So building for the feds, the reason I love it is because the federal agency is the only agency that allocates certain contracts to be set aside for women-owned businesses or small business. I'm a small business, so I don't compete with a Turner or Hensel Phelps. I compete against other robust businesses. We're a very robust business, and along with that comes challenges. So, but doing business with the feds, if it can be a very, very small, simplistic project, and if you can complete that, given the personalities you're dealing with, given the tough client that you're dealing with, it's a huge win. Yeah. But there were 2 projects, I think, that I was really, really proud of. One was right here in San Diego, and that's what put us on the map. 2007, we cleaned up after the wildfires for the county of San Diego. 150 employees that we hired within a crazy amount of time. Over a 6-month period, we completed the project. 300,000 acres were burnt. Yeah. We completely helped the communities that were impacted. So that was like a huge win.
Yeah, I would
love that. And every single person that worked on the project, all 150, we worked through Thanksgiving, we worked through Christmas, not one complaint. So the camaraderie and the team effort and the partnership between the client, the county, and the, us contractors was just phenomenal. It was great. So I'm proud of that. And the other project is a child development center that we built in Hawaii.
Okay.
And
and you're in several states.
Correct.
Why don't you tell us what they are real quick, and then tell us the rest of the story.
So we're actually not so much in San Diego. It's a hard nut to crack, San Diego. It's a very, 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 very tight knit, male dominant, construction. They play baseball together, they golf together, and I obviously don't do that. And
have scotches together.
Yeah, exactly.
Smoking the cigars. Yeah, all of that.
And it's so hard, where you have kids and you're taking care of kids, taking them to school. And then you got, by the way, you're running a company, But outside of, we do work in the Northern California area, but we're in Hawaii, we're in Washington State, and we've done work in New York, in Maryland, in Arizona, New Mexico, and recently we won a contract that's taken us to the Far East, Philippines, Indonesia. So we're so excited about that. I'm not afraid of going international. I'm not afraid of going remote. I love it. I'm very comfortable doing work outside the mothership, if you will.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Back to Gita. Back to the Hawaii Child Development Center.
Yeah, it was a child development center. Yeah. It was brand new construction, but I like to think, and I've built the company around, we build to enrich lives of others. Yeah, be it the military and be it children. It's dear to my heart, and so that was right there. It met my mission. The vision of building it for the kids and to see them enjoy their beautiful, beautiful daycare, if you will, for the Navy folks, military. It was just so nice. Oh my God, it was so great.
So, I had someone said this during a construction of a place for people that were abused. And the comment was, I wanted the materials to be beautiful. I wanted it to not seem like secondhand. I wanted it to be something fresh and new and beautiful. So tell me, because I think goes to your philosophy of not having these old materials that are, not really seeming used, but seeming like they're not the best of the best. The kids, they deserve the best. So
yeah, they got the best.
Yes,
but this client, it was the Navy, and the end user was NOAA, which is the National Atmospheric Oceanography. NOAA, and so they infused a lot of money to make this building beautiful. So they had the budget. So therefore, we could get them the great things. The architectural design was beautiful. The tables, the desks that they used, and all the other toys that they had was beautiful. But that's not often the case.
Right.
In fact, as we get, each day goes by, the military is, trying to cut costs, and now their vision is, no, we don't need these beautiful buildings. We just need functional buildings. They could look boring, but we want, if you go to Camp Pendleton, they're all the same red roofs, right? They're all, in Hawaii, it was all green, the green roof. Okay. And so the design is a lot more basic, and it's more about functionality more than, the Cadillacs.
Right.
But even then, though, we try to, we know what the prescription is, pretty much the designer designs it based on the budget and based on what the military wants, and we build to that, and they still get a great product at the end.
Yeah.
And to see them, when not having it, now they have it, it's just like, wow.
Place to get nourished for the future. And I think the preschool experience is really important for, their learning and how they're going to, start that whole learning career off as,
And their environment, the lighting, and the whole ventilation, all of that is important.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about success and failure and how you got into construction, because again, you don't see too many people that are women in construction, especially not starting a company and then growing it to be so successful.
Right. So I wasn't in construction. I'm organically grown, if you will. My training is all biomechanics, biochemistry. So I did a pivot.
Yeah.
And I've always loved construction, but never thought I'd be in business let alone building buildings.
Well, let's go back to the point of you were pregnant with your twins.
Yes.
Oh, I'll start a construction business. It's kind of funny if you think about it.
I love, trying different things. I'm a risk taker. I think everybody should take risks and manage it. Because otherwise, I don't think you could, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And if you're sheltered or if you're protected or, you don't know what could be out there that you want to try. And, it might be great or it might not.
Right.
But at least you tried it, right?
Yeah.
So I was in the academic world. I worked at UCSD. And then it just wasn't me. I knew I couldn't wear a white coat and do research. Something about it just didn't connect, and I wasn't happy. And then my father had a local engineering firm, so he said he needed help. I'm like, oh God, Dad, no, I'm no way. And in business, I'm not an entrepreneur. He goes, well, just try it because you're so miserable at the university.
Right.
And I said, all right, I'll try it. And this was when I was pregnant. And I tried it, and I loved it since day one. I loved the multifaceted aspect of business. There's finance, there's marketing, there's, people management, there's technical stuff. It was just so great. I'm like, oh my God, Dad, this is it. This
How
is
did I not know? I love that.
Again, if you don't try, you never
Right.
And then being independent that I am, I'm like, well, I don't want to tether to my dad. I'm like, I want to see if I could do this on my own. And that's when I said, all right, Dad, hiatus time. And then I went, had kids, first 2 years. And then my kids were talking when they turned 2. I'm like, all right, you're ready for school. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go back to work. And I started. My first job was in National City.
Oh, wow.
We were asked to clean up a gas station. Back then, it was, it was all the greenfield.
Oh, yeah.
Like you mentioned, it was, they wanted to revamp it. And so it was a great opportunity. It was basically the mayor of National City said, I'm going to give you a shot. We met at a conference or something, and I was telling him how I was just starting out, and he gave me a shot. And the first job was $500. He says, can you handle a $500,000 project? I was just like, oh my God, that's huge. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And it went great, just great. And that's how, the momentum started to kick in. And then the fire, project came along, and it's been great.
So to our listeners, what would you say to them? Probably try new things and then be prepared because you might actually succeed.
Yes, but be prepared, don't go blind. I mean, you could, I suppose, but there's a risk associated with that. Mm-hmm. But I think, they should try new things and follow your passion, and know yourself.
Yeah.
I think you really should be in the now, present. What do I care about? Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid of what others might think or say. If you have high integrity and if you know that you're doing the right thing, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
And no matter what resistance you get, you're going to meet resistance. No matter how much you get, thrown down or punched or whatever, take it and just keep going.
So let's talk about resistance. Do you have resistance when you've led men in construction? Because I feel
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is that like?
So interesting. I've been in business now for over 22 years. Initially, it was hard, very, very hard. But I had two things going for me. I think my education, I'm very proud of it. And I earned respect when people know that, okay, she's just, whatever. And the other thing is confidence. When you prep yourself, when you're ready, except for today, just you're winging it. But anyway, when you prep yourself, you know what you're talking about. You understand it. And if you don't understand something, just be authentic and say, hey, you know what?
Right.
I don't get it. I have to get back to you on that.
Right.
But if you have those confidence, and I think my training and background helped me sort of circumvent some of the negativity that I endured. And unfortunately, a lot of the negativity that I encountered was within the business, employees. Mm-hmm. Even though you interview, they know that they'd be working for a female. When push comes to shove, some guys just can't deal with it. And I remember clearly, and this will always stick in my mind, and it was, I was interviewing a guy for an operations role, senior project manager. And took him out to lunch. It was part of the interview. And he printed my website out. And back then I had a president's CEO's message. And he had it, and he said to me, he goes, "Do you know why I want to work for you?" And I said, "No, please tell me. I'd like to know." He goes, "Well, I want to know who your ghostwriter is." I'm like, "What do you mean ghostwriter?" He says, "Well, I want to know who wrote the CEO's message. I want to meet that person because I think he did a good job."
He?
Yeah.
Ah.
And I just went, "I'm sorry, guy. You're looking at her that wrote the message."
Right.
And he's like, "Oh." And the same guy, back then I had a tagline, and it was "Think Solutions." The same guy has the audacity, and at that point I let it go and I hired him anyway. He said, "So who came up with that? Think Solutions." I'm like, "You're looking at her." He was just like, could not fathom.
Clueless.
Yeah, totally clueless.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just take a quick smart stop to hear from our sponsor and get right back to that.
SmartStop knows the winning connection is when we elevate success together. SmartStop Self Storage, a California company with nearly 200 properties and over 15 million square feet of rentable storage in the US and Canada, is committed to positively impacting the communities we serve on the national and local level. By aligning our core principles of leading together, embracing change, and enhancing everyone's journey with local initiatives. To learn more about our core values, our locations, and career opportunities, please visit us at smartstopselfstorage.com.
So this guy is saying all this to you. He's striking every which way, and you're thinking, why are you doing this? Why can't it be me that thought up this?
Yeah. Wow. So, I'd never asked him that. I just, obviously he couldn't understand it. He ended up, leaving and I think starting his own business.
I was going to say, you didn't hire him, did you?
Well, I did, unfortunately, because I'll tell you, another challenge is finding the right people. Your small business, you're in San Diego, people don't want to work for, a small business.
Right.
I don't consider the gender aspect. I don't include that as a variable in my equation, although I probably should, but I don't. But I know that in a lot of cases, I always tell myself, gee, if RORE were run by so-and-so, a male, I don't think this employee would treat, the CEO like that. Or I don't think the employee would question the CEO like that.
Well, and I want to get into that a little bit too, because even in my career, I a lot of times think, well, someone wouldn't say that to me if I was a man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some of the things that are actually said to me, I work very hard. Mm-hmm. You work very hard. You know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. Our results are actually proof of what we do. Mm-hmm. But if you were a man, no one would ever question that.
No way.
Why is this?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's a whole societal, norm, if you will. We're trying to change it, but I think it's nowhere near. I think we have a long, long ways to go. I think we need to train the youngins, So I have a son and a daughter. They're both twins, raised the same way. Mm-hmm. And my son is, always teach both of them respect. And doesn't matter female, male, you must, respect each other. And saying certain things is not okay, or treating women a certain way is not okay. And poor guy, he's surrounded by women. He's got strong mom and strong sister, strong grandma, strong aunt. So he's just like getting it from all sides. So I don't, I'm hoping that he turns out to be a great, young man. Well, he is a young man now, but as he enters into society and contributes to society, I hope he makes the right decisions. But I think a lot comes from training, right?
I agree.
We have to train them when they're young, and just hope that they treat women right. So my son works for a company, female CEO.
Really?
And he is just blown away. He's just, wow, Mom, she is one of the smartest people I know. She's so smart. I mean, that's great.
Yes, and that he can recognize that.
Oh, yeah,
he's not trying to diminish it.
No. So anyway.
Well, it sounds like you probably trained him right, so that's good.
I think so.
And let's talk a little bit about role models, because I think you touched on it a little bit. You have a strong mom. Strong aunt.
My sister.
Yes, your sister, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have a family of strong women that have been around your family and helped shape you in ways. What about any other role models or mentors in your life?
So I've had great mentors. I think my PhD advisor was great. Male mentors. I don't think I've had a female mentor per se. I've got dear female friends who are really accomplished in their careers, and I learn from them. But locally, it's been male mentors. Being a part of AGC, the Associated General Contractors, I get on the board, and it's like all men. There's me and two other women. No, it was first me and one other woman who was a builder. And then came another, but it's just crazy. And it was so, intimidating at first. And in fact, one of the board members said, "What are you doing in construction? Like, what are you doing?" Dude.
Well, that in itself is offensive.
I don't take offense, because I really don't think they mean malice. They just, that's just. And I usually make light of, poke fun at them. I'm like, oh my. So over a 6-year period, some of my mentors come from the board.
Right.
They got to know me, and so we got to know each other and earn their respect. I think they got to see, okay, she knows their stuff or whatever it is. Right. But it takes time.
Right, because of perception.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you must earn the respect, and once you've earned it, then I think it's a go.
So don't you think it's a little bit more difficult for a woman than it is a man, especially in the construction field?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Because they would never question a man when he walks into the room of whether he's qualified. But a woman, okay, interesting.
I've been in conferences. They're like, "Oh, are you marketing? You're business development. What are you?" "No, I'm a CEO." "Oh, okay. Well,
Not only are you the CEO, but you actually started the company.
Yes.
From the ground up.
Yes.
So all of the hard work, the challenges, you're the one who had to make that happen.
That's correct. It's a very lonely place.
Yeah.
Being a CEO, it's,
Sure.
it's not easy. And if you're not, I didn't have a parent who was in construction. I didn't have a grandparent. Some of these folks are like 5th, 6th generations.
Right.
It's, so they've had some mentoring or someone who's been there, made the mistakes. No, I made all the mistakes.
And I love that. And you're still laughing about it, and you think it's, and it didn't stop you.
No.
It didn't stop you.
No, nothing.
So, I mean, I think it's fascinating that you just one day went, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
Because you could have failed miserably. But you didn't allow yourself.
I think when things are going great, you don't think about the possibilities of a fall. So when I first started,
What year was that?
I started in 2003.
Oh.
I started in May. The kids were born in July, so it's like a go from 2003. But initially, it was going great. The fire project came along. I'm like, whoa! I just got hit. It was like an avalanche, So things are going great, and you don't think about the possibilities of, okay, I better, think about a rainy day, or, the storm's going to end and something could happen. You don't think about that. But when it does happen, and it does.
The Great Recession.
Yep, it often and always does, no
Yeah.
matter what business. I believe in this.
Sure.
You just have to, that's when you're tested. That's when you keep falling, and I've been falling and falling and falling, but you just have to get up. You just have to get up and keep going, and you have to believe in yourself and believe in the folks that you have with you. And
That's a big one, the team.
yeah, it's absolutely the team. And when you have your team believe in you and they have faith in you, even though they're tough times, that's when you're like, wow, this is great. This is, we're gonna pull through this.
I feel like that's a lesson learned to share with our listeners of, hey, you need to know this, but I could be wrong. If you walk into a room of young women, you want them to have a couple of takeaways where it will help them in business. What would you tell them?
Be tenacious, like never give. I tell my kids that all the time.
Yeah.
Do not give up. You stay focused. Don't speculate. Don't think about, oh my God, what if I don't get in, or what if it doesn't. No. It's in the present. You stay focused and be tenacious. And I think the other thing I would probably tell anyone, girl, boy, whatever, I think they need to be solution driven. Don't whine. Don't complain. Don't feel victimized. But think about, what is the problem at hand and how am I going to solve this? I think when they do that and they stay focused and they solve the problem, whatever it is, whatever industry, then that is, builds confidence. That's, oh, wow, look what I can accomplish.
And it's predictable because you are going to have challenges.
Yes.
You're going to have failures. You can't control anything but what
you can control.
That's right. And so all of those outside things, a pandemic, a downturn in the economy, all these things, supply issues, issues with even just finding the right people to work for you, they present really big challenges. And you're not going to be able to overcome them like that every single time. So those times that are the toughest times, that's when you really shine, I think.
And, employees are very difficult. I think it's taken me, nearly 20 years to come up with the right set of employees. I'm very happy now, but I wasn't, 5 years ago. We had some bad apples.
Yeah.
We had people who disrespected, working for a female, thought that, oh, what does she know about construction? I get this all the time. But now, I think as you get older, and you do get wiser, and you know that, hey, you know what? I've been there, done that. You can't bullshit me. I know what's right, what's not. I know when you need to perform. I know when you need to meet deadlines. You are working for the team.
That's right.
And so you get stronger. I think you get stronger and you don't put up with the bullshit. 10, 15 years ago, I'd be like, okay, well, I don't have anybody else, so let's just go along with this. Now it's, if you don't work out, you're out.
Well, and there's so many people behind them that want actually that job.
Yeah.
To put forth the effort that you need and want them to.
And I think we're a small business, so everybody knows, if somebody's not performing and I'm still keeping them on the payroll, that's not fair to them either,
Yeah.
So now everybody's working in unison. It's a great feeling.
When you get the right team.
When you get the right team,
amazing.
and I'm not going to say that, I've failed, and it's not like, the pandemic and the recession doesn't mean that you don't lose money, you do lose money, but then you just keep going because, one project may be a loss and you make it up in the other,
Right.
You got to look at the big picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think, I could be wrong, but I feel like women are very big picture oriented. And then, all the little things that are going to happen between the big picture and then where you're at today. And I think we're very, very capable and focused on, I'm going to get a curve. Something's going to hit me that I'm not expecting, but that's okay. And we go with it.
Correct.
Don't you think?
Yep.
So what are you most passionate about at work where you just go, you know what? I'm really happy I'm doing this? What really?
I think solving problems,
Yeah.
whether it's people problems,
Yeah.
a technical issue, I will not give up until we solve it. And you can solve it. It takes a team, but you got to be open to other people's opinions, and because everybody's smart in their own way, and everybody has something to contribute.
I agree with that.
You know,
Absolutely.
I have engineers. I've got I've got HR. I've got accounting, and they all bring in they might be in their own lanes and myopic. But if you put it all together collectively, it's the CEO or my right hand is this ops person. You know, we discuss it and we say, hey, this is a solution.
Right.
Or we work, you know, I'm not smart in every way, but that's why I've got folks, you know, to help me out. We team with experts. You know, we're working on an elevator project right now, and we're working with one of the largest elevators contractor. Okay, they're big, but they're not necessarily great at everything. No.
Well, they probably have the mindset, which I don't think you do. There are a lot of companies, I think, and you know, municipalities, all of it. We've done it this way for 30 years.
Correct. Absolutely.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Absolutely. And then you're like, wait a minute, just because you've been doing it 30 years the same way, obviously it isn't working today.
No,
because
that's right.
you have to change.
That's right.
You have to grow with everything that
or
changes
understand
around.
what this client needs.
Yes.
It's not necessarily what the other client needed.
Correct.
It's completely different.
Yes.
Dude, that's where I'm here to help. So it's been a great relationship. As frustrating as they are, it's just been a complimentary. It drives my project manager crazy because I'm like, Gita, how do they not get this? They just drive me crazy. I'm like, dude, they are thinking they've done this millions of times. They don't want this client to do it this way.
They can make it fit. You can't make it fit. It doesn't always work that way.
But that's the fun part.
Yeah.
I
think
love
so.
that. I love working with so many various disciplines. I really do. I think that's what gives me wow, it's great. It's a great day.
So what would be some of your really salient advice that you would give young leaders, especially women?
Be a good listener.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And expect resistance. You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
But always take the high road. Don't let. I mean, you get beat up. I mean, there are days sometimes, okay, you cry because you had a lousy day. You know, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay the employees, you know, one day? I mean, those have been those are harsh realities that I've faced.
Yeah.
You know, take money out of my 401k or retirement so the others are taken care of. But always remember that life is transient. Every episode is transient. You'll come out of it. But that goes good or bad. You know, you could have a great day today, but tomorrow may be a shitty day.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Where you just go, oh my gosh, I can't even make it work. I don't know how to fix it. Yeah.
But then it'll be great again.
Yes,
so
right.
just, again, it's that journey and, you know, think you're going to be okay at the end of the day if you keep your goals in mind, right?
Yeah.
You got to have goals and you got to keep at it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
What's next?
What's next?
Well, yeah, what's next for you? What are you going to do next?
Well, I'm really, really thrilled about the overseas work. I've always wanted to go international, and I didn't think I'd do it so early, but we had an opportunity. We went for it. We won the contract. And
what is it, by the way?
So it's a building contract for the Navy Pacific.
Okay. Yeah.
They're all gearing up in the Far East, national security reasons, China, you know, all exciting stuff that's going on there. So the Americans are just building, and we're involved building a runway, you know, airfield, just buildings. It's so exciting, and working with the whole Filipino, you know, culture is exciting and interesting. And so we want to go. We want to see how far we can go with that.
Amazing.
And while building San Diego, I really want to build San Diego.
Yeah.
Because I'm here. I've been here for over 20 years. This is corporate. This is the brains of the company. So I need to chip away at how can we get into building more in San Diego. And it's going to take time.
Oh, yeah, close to home.
Yeah.
Now, what about the kids? Are they working in the company?
No, they're not interested in it. But they're doing great. They're, very fortunate and lucky to have, great kids. And hopefully they'll contribute and do great things someday.
I'm sure they will. Well, thank you so much for sharing about what you do every day and, the excitement of it and your love and passion for it, because it really is very infectious. And I think, a lot of people that listen to this episode and watch this episode will be very inspired by you.
Thank you for having me. It's a great opportunity.
Thank you.
And go, girls.
That's right. Girl power.
Go. That's right. Okay.
Thank
you, Rebecca.
The incredible curated SheEO conversation you just enjoyed was brought to you by SmartStop, a leader in self-storage real estate and a company that upholds its core principles of leading together, embracing change, and enhancing everyone's journey. To learn more about SmartStop, please visit smartstopselfstorage.com.
Cloudcast Media.